Welcome to Sunshine Cathedral's Queer God Squad. It's Wednesday, June 5th, 2024. I am Reverend Dr. Darrell Watkins, the Senior Minister here at Sunshine Cathedral.
I am Reverend Dr. Robert Griffin, the Executive Minister. Faith and religion can be complicated for the LGBTQ+ community. Surveys show that evangelical faith is the justification for the greatest attacks on the LGBTQ+ community.
I am Reverend Kevin Tisdall, the Minister of Education. The Queer God Squad is going to explore our religious community. Let's explore the big news of the day and what it means to you.
I am Reverend Dr. Ann Atwell, the Minister of Connections. This is live, and then we are available on demand. We are available on all smart televisions and your favorite social media.
Surveys show that religious faith and church are the main causes of trauma in the LGBTQ+ community. At Sunshine Cathedral, we're here to tell you that you are God's miracle, not God's mistake. This is the Sunshine Cathedral Perspective. Catholic Hermit comes out as trans with Bishop's blessing. And a groundbreaking revelation for the Catholic Church, Brother Christian Matson, a 39-year-old hermit from Kentucky, has come out as transgender. Remarkably, Matson has the full support of his bishop, John Stowe, of the Diocese of Lexington. Matson transitioned during college 4 years before converting to Catholicism and felt a strong calling to minister to artists. However, a 2000 Vatican declaration stated that transgender individuals were ineligible for marriage, priesthood, or religious life. Advised by a canon lawyer, Matson pursued the role of a diocesan hermit, a layperson who vows obedience, poverty, and chastity directly to a bishop. This role, largely solitary and focused on prayer, had no gender distinction, however. Finding a supportive bishop was challenging for Matson. In 2020, Matson contacted Bishop Stowe, an advocate for LGBTQ+ tolerance, who responded immediately. Matson said, "It was an enormous relief. I was in tears. I felt my hope revive." Matson moved to Kentucky and took his vows in 2022. Alarmed by increasing anti-trans rhetoric and policies, and inspired by a young trans Catholic struggle, Matson decided to come out publicly on Pentecost last month. Despite the potential backlash, Bishop Stowe supported Matson's decision, acknowledging that some in the church may oppose it. It's a sad, I don't know, it just makes me sad. I think I'm meant to be excited and happy that this person found a role for himself. This hermit, this trans man, but mostly I'm sad that it was the only role available to him. It took investigation and legalese to find it, and he's just one person. And even at that, and I'm glad he's happy with the role it is, but the role of solitude, where you just pray by yourself, which you could do anyway, that is the only role acceptable. Once again, and I know that I'm always sort of the least generous about this at the table, and maybe even among most of my friends and colleagues, but every so-called step forward in these old institutions just seem too little, too late, and they give with one hand and take with the other. It's almost like, here's your compliment and your insult. It's almost like every dysfunctional family. I love you, now let me tell you, how terrible you are. So I don't know. I'm glad this person has found a ministry that he's comfortable with. I'm glad he found the courage to share his story so that it might encourage others. I'm glad that there is this supportive bishop. And I'm sad that these are rarities, that these are exceptions to the rules, that the rules stand fast and against certain kinds of people for who they innately are. Why shouldn't a trans person be able to pray or serve sacraments or read scriptures or visit people in the hospital or marry the person they love or whatever? And so it's still cruel, it's still unjust, and I'm glad that this person has found a path, and I'm glad that he's sharing his story to help others, but I'm sad that it has to be done, and that even as it is, it's so darn little.
Yeah. I can appreciate that. I can certainly appreciate that. And at the same time, when I read that, I actually felt a bit of joy, not because of what was happening within the church, but that this person found happiness.
Yeah, happy for him, certainly. Yeah.
And cried tears of joy And I'm hopeful, I'm truly hopeful that this will be a kickoff, that it will help others, that others will see this. Other bishops will say, you know what, if this one person can do it, why can't I do it? I get it. I absolutely get it. And at the same time, I try to remain hopeful.
I was a little bit different. I read the story, and he originally wanted to minister to artists. He wanted he wanted to be out there with the world, and instead had to choose, quote unquote, choose really to be a hermit. That was not his original goal, so that kind of hurt me in that sense. Yes, he was happy that he was able to stay within the church, within the structure, and he's still closeted to me. He's still not allowed to be fully himself in the world. I love the part where he saw another transgender person struggling and said, well, no, let me come out and allow that person to be more of themselves than they were. So there was a positive in there for me also. So yeah, it's a nice move forward. And unfortunately, as I think we've said at this table kind of often, that it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. The church moves like a glacier.
I'm saying,
yes, it does.
It's not the hare and the tortoise, it's the tortoise and the glacier.
Oh, gosh, yes. So we know that that is the story. And yes, I am happy that Matson found their place in the church world. Bottom line.
Well, I am so glad Miss Thing used Pentecost Sunday to come out the closet.
That's good.
I mean, she burned that closet down on Pentecost and just came right on out of it. And the other side of me, for the church part of it, it's like, what are they afraid of? I mean, it's like, like you said earlier, they give with one and take with the other. What are they freaking afraid of? Are they afraid of, are they just really needing to hold on to the institution of the maleness that it is, that they can not allow any movement whatsoever? And, just reflecting on not just them, but it's like everything that has been overcome in any denomination has been a long fight just for people to claim their rightful place in leadership position or in roles in the church, whether it's women ordination, whether it's gays and lesbians, Absalom Jones, I go back to Absalom Jones and all of that. It's like, what are people trying to preserve by saying who's in and who's out? And that's what the country club days need to be over. If you're going to talk about everyone and everyone is supposed to mean everyone, then stand behind everyone.
Right.
If all means all, then all is all. So kudos for coming out and burning that closet down on Pentecost Sunday.
Well, that's today with the Queer God Squad. We want to thank you for joining us. We're here daily at 3 p.m. to have some fun and discuss what our LGBTQ plus community is talking about.
Sunshine Cathedral is the world's largest progressive queer church. Progressive, queer, and God are words that naturally should go together. And we are all in this together. Remember that.
You are God's miracle, not God's mistake.
Until next time, we are the Queer God Squad. Goodbye.